must be very pleased with the way that went. Well,
yeah, I mean, it was a tough game, wasn't it? Very tough game. The first half in particular, I think we had to work exceptionally hard, probably, in particular, the first 20 minutes. And I think that's where we're starting to reap the rewards, where we've got some real belief that if we work hard, we'll go back in the changing room after the game and things will be good for us. And that's really what's happening. Last week, it was a different game against Bristol, but in a lot of ways, we had to show the same qualities, which was work extremely hard and stay believing what we were going to do would come through in the end, and it did. It was very much the same today. I thought Harlequins were very, very good. They started with really good intensity. We had to work really hard to contain them for that first 20-25 minutes, but I thought we slowly grew into it, and I thought by the end of the first half, we certainly looked more comfortable with dealing with Harlequins' threats. And although it was very tight at half-time, I did feel comfortable at half-time. I think the wind was a bigger factor than people probably realise on the day. It was quite blustery and blowy, which affected the kicking game. So it was always a bit easier to control territory in the second half, and it was tougher for Harlequins to kind of exit and work their way up the field. And I think the possession stats and the territory stats would show that. And that allowed us really then to just to stay in the fight, and we just kept working hard, and then that meant the moments broke for us. I thought some of the play from like Lockie today and Ollie Woodburn, and the way the backs fashioned some things out of small moments was very, very important for us. And ultimately that was when the game broke up. The game broke up in the last 20 minutes, and we managed to thrive on it.
Was Lackey really crowned the fastest player in Australia? Is that right?
Apparently it was. It's something that you can see on YouTube apparently. But it was a little while ago.
Right.
There's a lot of talk about everyone banging on about the home semi-final. You play it down in midweek. Has your performance here shown just how almost little of a difference that's going to make? I think it's important just to remember when you look across your season. I think if you get so emotionally attached to a home semi-final that you're losing the battle already, aren't you? I mean, for us, it's about turning up each week and playing well, whether we go home or away. And we've been on a good run now without losing, and why can't that continue? And half those games have been away from home, and it's not been a big issue for us. I'm not going to put so much pressure on the players to think that every week they walk out on the field they've got to get a 5-point win, else everything's wrong. If we'd have any win today would have been a great result for us. The 5 points is fantastic, and it really helps us for the home semi-final. But it isn't the be-all and end-all. It's good. You want to play in front of your home supporters. Statistically, it gives you a better chance of winning. Financially, it's great, and that's probably in some ways one of the most important things. But it isn't the be-all and end-all. Training very well every day and playing well is what it's all about.
Do you still back yourselves even if you had to go to Saracens?
Well, you've got to. I think if you we've been to Saracens and won before, albeit not in such a high profile game, but we went there and drew this year. We won there a couple of seasons ago. Saracens, we're exactly the same. Saracens will be very comfortable going away. They'll be very comfortable coming to Exeter. I hope that's the way around it happens, but they'll be comfortable. They won't see it as a big issue for them, and I don't think we should see it as a big issue either.
What do you do for the next 2 weeks?
Well, hopefully the boys will have a nice 4 or 5 days off now. The most important thing is they get on the bus and they have a few beers and they have a bit of sing-song and they let their hair down and they decompress a little bit, and they have a good think about how well they've worked in the last few weeks and the rewards of their hard work. They'll have a couple of days off and bring them in for 3 or 4 days at the end of next week. And like I say, we've got a few things to address in our game because we're not a perfect side. We're not playing fantastically great flowing rugby. We've thrown another intercept today and we've given up a few easy points. But we're working hard, and the boys will come in on Wednesday and they will work hard because they know it's the foundation of what we want to achieve. And for me, it's just great seeing them get rewards. We've always said to the lads, get the season in your own hands, and then you can reap all the rewards, and that's what they're doing.
And Jack Maunder came off injured at the end.
He was just cramping at the end. We were trying to make a decision on when to make the switch over, but we used our backs replacements, so we didn't want to go down because James Short looked like he was cramping as well. But in the end, Jack cramped up, and we didn't have any other options. Okay.
And is Luke Cowandick anything serious?
Luke's again put in a big shift last week, and again had to stay on the field for longer than we would have liked last week because our 2 second rows both went off at half time, and we ended up with no forward replacements, so we held our hooker probably longer than we would have done. But again, no, he's more sore and just suffering from the effects of last week's game, where he was fantastic, but obviously he's got a bit banged around. And we made a fair few changes today. I'm pleased with how everyone fitted in and the energy that everyone brought. And I think it just shows you that we're in a very good place at the moment.
6 bonus point wins on the trot as well, which is quite an achievement. It's
pleasing, isn't it? You look at a collection of points and you go, well, the last 5-6 games you're picking up 30 points, which is a big chunk of your season. You can take a massive control of your season with that. But then you look around, and if Saracens win tomorrow, they're 1 point behind us, and we're banging in 5-point wins and we're not shaking anybody off. I mean, the one thing we are doing is we're keeping ourselves at the right end of the table and giving ourselves an opportunity now to have a home game against Northampton, which is all we'll focus on, and we'll see what we can get out of that game.
You're doing it at the right end of the season. That's the
we are.
September, October.
We are doing it at the right end of the season. It would have been nice to have done it a little bit earlier on. It would have made my life a bit less stressed than it was at the start of the first couple of months of the season. But it is nice to be hitting our straps now, and I actually do think there's a bit more in us still. I think there's a little bit of quality we can still add, and a little bit of control, a little bit of composure, but that will come on top of like the hard work ethic. We're not going to lose that at all.